It's my house. I just got finished mowing the lawn, so and I got allergies today, so you know. But I came here today to talk about NBA basketball. I know it's been like years since I talked about NBA basketball, but alright, so it's been a really long time. I talked about NBA basketball. Okay? Lots of things have happened. Team's been streaking up and down. My team went on a 7-game losing streak. But there is some redemption to this. Look, I'll be talking about all these teams in a minute. Alright. Let me catch my breath. Okay, we'll start off with the Western Conference. A little bit different. So the teams fighting for the 8th seed are technically the Blazers and the Nuggets. You know, both teams down the stretch have been playing well. Well, more so the Blazers because they've really caught up in the standings. The Nuggets, you know, they're kind of losing some space, so it was really their seed to lose. So I think currently who holds the 8th seed now is the Blazers. Hey, Mia, it's my sister. Don't lock the door. Alright, say hello to Mia, everyone. She's just about to cross. There goes my sister.
What are you doing?
Why is she coming in the car?
Are you doing a YouTube video?
This is Steven.
How y'all doing?
This
How
is
y'all
Mia.
doing? Welcome,
Alright.
YouTube.
You better not be the thumbnail.
This is the Josh Show. Oh, yeah. Basketball, real facts. You heard it here first, Pope.
Bro, this guy been thinking it's his channel, bro. Alright.
Breaking news. I'm playing.
Alright, so basically teams out, you know. The Lakers, you know, they're sure out. The Suns are out. They're more for the draft. The Mavericks are kind of fighting. He might not have too much room to go, you know. I think Timberwolves are just like them. They're really fighting. So the Pelicans, man, I mean, it's not that they're disappointing. It's just that they had too much ground to cover, you know. So yeah, you know the top 7 teams: Memphis, OKC, Clippers, Jazz, Rockets, Spurs, Warriors. It's really not gonna change. Blah blah blah. You know, Kevin Durant's out. The Warriors are still dominant. Spurs are doing their thing. Rockets are great. You know, Harden's the MVP. Nope, sorry. Westbrook's the MVP. On the real, I mean, it might as well have like a dual MVP. But for the sake of competitiveness, you know, it should go to Harden. You know, just to keep Westbrook hungry, because he won't have the record. Might not really have 50 wins. He'll try. Might even get 50 wins and still not get the MVP because of the way the media has it, you know. Alright, now to the Eastern Conference. You know, how things are going. You know, really the teams fighting to get their spaces. The Bulls, you know. The Pistons. Hornets are in there. Alright, just got a new haircut, so, you know. It's kind of getting messed up today. But but on a serious note, okay? Might be just this angle. But yeah, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Hornets, and the Pacers, yeah. Okay? So one of those teams is in right now, it's the Pacers. Pacers just acquired Lance Stevenson, so yeah. The Bulls, Dwayne Wade, I forgot to tell y'all he's out with an injury. He'll be out for the rest of the season. You know, you probably already knew that for watching basketball. But, yeah, Dwayne Wade, he's going to be gone. But Jimmy Butler, I don't even know how, but they ended up sweeping the regular season with the Cavs. Like, they will go down as the only team to beat the Cavs 4 times, only because us, the Western Conference, you know, has this you know, this 2-game rule. So, yeah. But besides that, I mean, the Bulls might not make the playoffs and still have swept the Cavs in the regular season, the defending champs. Like, wow. I mean, LeBron must have just promised Dwayne Wade, you know, I'm just not going to beat that team. Even if you're not playing, I'm just not going to gonna defeat that team. I mean, he's one man too. True, he can fill up the stats as well, but darn, I don't even know how that happens. Like for real. All right, but 7th seed. It's looking like the Heat. You know, they're also competing for the 8th, but at the same time, they're at the 7th right now. You know, they'd be matched up with the Cavs because the Cavs are the 2nd seed. You know, Celtics are the 1st seed. You know, it's not really surprising too much to me. I mean, the Cavs were the 2nd seed when the Hawks were the 1st seed, 60 wins, which was way more impressive the way that season went. We still got swept, so they're still going to be a great playoff team. We just got to defend the 3 well. So it all comes down to the Hawks is what I think, the Hawks and the Cavs. But that's going to be another story. I'm going to not be biased on this one. I'm just going to fill it up with all the things, all how the teams are progressing, right? So the 6th seed right now is the Bucks. We're tied with them, okay? We're tied with them. I'll get back to that. But Wizards are the 3rd seed, division champions. Southeast Division. Somewhat. Good job, Wizards. Yeah, and then the Toronto Raptors are doing well. Making all kinds of funny faces. Because it's Pollard. Bless me. Say Claritin D, saline, and apple cider vinegar in one day. So that's how my day's been. These allergies. Not to sneeze, trying to hold it back, but back to that tie with the 5 and 6. So basically, masters of our own fate. I don't know who you're listening to. Some people might say, hey, we can still get the 4th. Which is really sort of impossible now. Some people might say, hey, Hawks aren't going to make the playoffs. Or some people might say, hey, it won't matter because they won't get out of the first round regardless of their seed. But I tell you right now that with all these injuries, like, what didn't kill us made us strong. I'm not even going to talk about the Hawks right now. I'm going to talk about the NBA overall, There is a vulnerability in both conferences. When Kevin Durant comes back, Warriors are going to be vulnerable. The Spurs are vulnerable. Each team in their own right has weakness, an Achilles heel. But the one team that people need to look out for is the Atlanta Hawks. Because getting that first win without without Paul Millsap, first and foremost, Double Cephalosha and Kent Bazemore, that's 3 Hawks starters, and still getting the W, even if it's against a lot of teams, means a lot, okay? Means a lot, right? So when he came back, Kent Bazemore was refreshed, bro. Like he was acting like he was earning his money though, for real. That's probably what the plan was. Rest these guys, let them heal from sort of these pains that they're having, and let them just like play their way through the playoffs. Like Paul Millsap in full strength, like dropping 40 in the playoffs, 45 points in the playoffs. Kent Bazemore doing his thing, having career highs in his playoff games. Double Cephalosha making shots and defensive plays. But you still need to watch out for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is an extremely talented player. One of the best players in any conference, just like LeBron James. A series against the Bucks, in the first round is pretty dangerous. I think because we won't be matched up with them regardless in the first round, maybe in the second, I may even say the conference finals. The Bucks are great without Giannis Antetokounmpo, but the rest of the team is alright too, but not as loaded as a lot of these other higher Eastern Conference teams. The Eastern Conference is very important because of the swing that's going on, this talent swing. The Wizards are probably the most talented team behind the Toronto Raptors, and I'm gonna exclude the Cavs right now because they're great at shooting. Period. Defensively, they need a little bit more work, but we already know about the Cavs. Extremely talented. The Wizards, the Raptors, the Celtics, then the Hawks. But the talent's not what's really important. It's what you can do with that talent. Ersan Ilyasova, the way he gets the charges and these fouls, it requires a little bit of selling. A lot of bit of selling. But it's still professional the way he does it. And it's been in the clutch, you know. Shooting is great. He's one of those players that you want on a championship caliber team. As well as Tim Hardaway Jr. And he's going to be the most valuable player throughout the playoffs. And I think the X factors will be Thabo Sefolosha and Kent Bazemore. You know. Besides that, you know, all the 16 teams that are, you know, going to be in the playoffs, it's anyone's ball game. People think, hey, the Cavs, the Warriors have it easy in the first round. I actually beg to differ, you know. It's going to be, they're going to lose at least 2 games in the first round. That's what I believe. You know, Kevin Durant is going to get healthy. But these first round matchups for the Cavs, like, it's going to be hard for them this year because it's not just their defense. It's the, you know, if they match up with Heat, like, they could lose that series with the full strength Dion Waiters, who's resting right now, is what I believe. Hassan Whiteside, Goran Dragic, like, grade 8 seed right there. That's the definitive 7th seed even. I mean, because it might be squeezed the 2nd seed, which is probably likely because the Cavs don't want that 1st seed for some reason. I think they want to get back at the Heat in the playoffs. They think they can beat this team, but the truth is, man, the Heat have the momentum, they have the confidence, everything that makes a great upset team. So, you know, if that series happens, it might even go to 7 games. I mean, then LeBron will have to just take over, but you cannot count anything out this year's playoffs. The Mavs lost in the first round when they had a 67-15 season against the Warriors, ironically. Imagine if the Mavs were the 8th seed this season. I mean, revenge, Seth Curry, Dirk Nowitzki, but I'm just thinking about that. Forget about the AD, Boogie Cousins combo up in New Orleans if they get it, but the Damian Lillard, Nurkic, that is a good combo. But yeah, I mean, never count any team out in the playoffs. Not this year. This year's going to be very different from what you've seen. So, peace.